among the under 5 in this country. And it is one of the commonest NCDs, or non-communicable diseases, in this country. And our chief guest, we appreciate the fact that a lot has been done in this area, but still there are a number of gaps that has to be addressed, especially coordination of our efforts of all the different actors in this area. There are many entities, many individuals fighting sickle cell disease in their respective capacities, but in silos. So as a department, we promise to really work together to coordinate these actions so that we reap much benefit together. And we also appreciate your commitment and the top leadership of this ministry as a champion in the fight against sickle cell disease. So we thank you so much, Honorable Minister, and the entire top management for being exemplary in this cause. So I wouldn't like to take a lot of time, but mine was just to welcome you all to this very, very important function. And thank you for turning up in this number. And we believe together we can make a difference. So as I conclude our chief guest, allow me introduce to you the following schools that are participating in this function today. First and foremost, we have Bukasa High School. Bukasa High School, you're most welcome. We have Bishop Cipriano Kiangira Senior Secondary School. Where are you? You're most welcome. We have Bishop Primary School. Thank you for joining us. Our Lady Primary School, Luero. Thank you, thank you. Our chief guest, Our Lady Primary School in Luero has a number of warriors studying in that school. There are so many. So I believe they will have an opportunity to share with us some plays or poems or songs. We also have Clever's Origin Primary School, Kitintale. Most welcome. Last but not least, we have Parents and Warriors. Parents and Warriors, please, may you rise up for recognition. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are most welcome. And our chief guest, we also have colleagues from the Ministry of Health. So the commissioners, can see Commissioner Clinical Services, my colleague Commissioner Community Health, Dr. George Painter, Commissioner for Nursing, and our colleagues from Mulago, Dr. Munube, and Dr. Philip, you're most welcome. I think I will leave the director for the DG, DG to introduce him. But other senior staff members from the Ministry of Health, you're most welcome. Please, you can rise up for recognition. And colleagues from CPHL, Dr. Kiyaga and your team, thank you, you're most welcome. So I beg to stop here. Thank you very much. I wish you a very nice stay here for God and my country.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. We can give him another round of applause. Thank you for the opening remarks. Right now, we are going to receive a song, a sickle cell song that was composed by Clever's Origin School. Please step forward and with the information on this disease that we are trying to fight today. Wow. While the guest of honor has given them a standing ovation, I think it is well deserving. It is that painful that I was looking at everyone in the tent while they were singing. Specifically, the Honorable Minister was holding her chin. She was deeply feeling the pain that sickle cell patients go through, and it is always really touching, especially at this time. And as we go on with our program, we shall unearth a lot of things, and it really brings us all together to make sure that we put our efforts together to make sure that we defeat this disease, because it is preventable. After that, it is prudent that we look at the perspective of this disease on a national and a regional level. And at this moment, allow me invite Dr. Deo from Mulago Sickle Cell Clinic to come and give us a perspective of this disease at a national level. Thereafter, we shall receive Dr. Nathan, the Director, Lila Regional Referral Hospital, to give us a regional perspective of this disease. Dr. Deo, over to you.
The Honorable Minister of Health, members of the Ministry of Health, all protocol observed. I've been introduced as Dr. Deo Gracious Munube. I'm the Assistant Clinical Head in the Department of Pediatrics and Child Health, and also Head of the Pediatric Hematology Oncology Program, which is where sickle cell disease. I'm here with the head of the clinic, Dr. Philip Kasiri. You can wave to the member. As a reminder to all of us, in Uganda, we have a high burden of sickle cell disease. And more importantly, we have a high prevalence of the sickle cell gene. If we look at a cross-section of Uganda, close to about 13% of us would have the gene. So roughly 1 in 10 people would have the gene. And if we look around here, you can count how many people we expect to have the gene. At the National Referral Hospital, we do have the privilege to host the Sickle Cell Clinic and Daycare Center. We currently have a total of 19,000 patients registered, of which 6,000 of them are active. By active, I mean they are able to come to the clinic within 6 months for a review. We do offer comprehensive care, which involves both inpatient and outpatient, and more importantly, we can provide life-saving treatments. In sickle cell disease, there are evidence-based medicines which can improve the outcome and the life of people living with sickle cell disease. One important drug is hydroxyurea. And at this moment, I would like to thank the Ministry of Health through the top management, senior management, and the CPHL and the National Medical Stores for providing additional hydroxyurea to very many facilities, including Mulago National Referral Hospital. Honorable Minister, this hydroxyurea is given at the National Referral Hospital, at the regional referral hospitals, at general hospitals, and a few health centers. Most people are able to access. However, there is still a challenge when it comes to the volumes. And we hope over the next few years, through your guidance, the Ministry of Health will be able to procure more and more hydroxyurea so that more and more of our people can access it. In addition to that, I would like to also take this opportunity to advocate for sickle cell testing. All of us here should be able to have ourselves tested for sickle cell disease. It means we need to have improved access, both at the hospital level and at the community. Knowing our sickle cell status would help us to reduce the incidence of sickle cell disease in the country and also help us to have better opportunities. On the other hand, we also have a duty to care for those people who are born with sickle cell disease and providing them with the necessary knowledge, evidence, and treatment is very important at a national level. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Deo from Mulago Sickle Cell Clinic. He tells us that drugs are available, but we are trying today to see that we don't reach at the time of drugs, but how can we prevent this? Allow me to invite the Director, Lila Regional Referral Hospital, Dr. Nathan, to come and give us a regional perspective. As he comes, I'll sound an alarm to whoever is in the building, the Ministry of Health building. Please come and partake of this information. It might be useful to you tomorrow or even now. Dr. De.
The Honorable Minister of Health, the Director General of Health Services, and the Directors, Commissioners present, the patients who are here, and the parents, the students, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. My name is Dr. Nathan Onyachi, the Hospital Director for Lira Regional Referral Hospital, and also the Chair of the Association of Hospital Directors. I'm happy to be part of this meeting to remember our people who are suffering from sickle cell disease. Honorable Minister, therefore I'm also representing the other directors and I believe the hospitals that take care of people with sickle cell disease. I just want to remember the path that we've gone through. I remember the time when I was a student, a medical student in the late 1980s. And I think I only knew one clinic, Honorable Minister, in the country, the one at Mulago. And I think one would think at that time that there was only sickle cell in the central Uganda here, because there were hardly any clinics up country. But what has changed, because I've been around for some time, is that there has been a lot of sensitization. People have known a lot about sickle cell disease, and I want to thank you, Honorable Minister, for taking leadership in this. I will give you an example that Lira Regional Referral Hospital, which I head, started its clinic just in 2013. And I think I remember that's around the time you became Director General of Health Services. And we've run that clinic therefore for 10 years. And now we have a total of 1,293 patients under care in Lira Regional Referral Hospital, with 10 satellite sites, treatment sites in the region. And I think many other regional referral hospitals have also taken it up, and they have gradually opened sickle cell clinics. So it's not a problem of Kampala as I thought. It's a problem of the whole country. Because wherever we go, we find many patients. Wherever we screen, we find many patients with sickle cell. And out of these 1,293, 538 are males and 758 are females. That is for Lira Hospital. Honorable Minister, of these, 431 are on hydroxyurea treatment. And why do I want to emphasize the importance of hydroxyurea? And I remember you giving me a call 1 year ago when I joined Lira, and emphasizing that we've delivered hydroxyurea there and it should be used. And I even changed the leadership of the clinic, Honorable Minister. And the hydroxyurea has been used on the patients that are there. Now, what proves that it is really very important to have hydroxyurea? When we had a diminution of supply, recently we had a decrease in supply of hydroxyurea for the last 1 month, Honorable Minister. The stocks have gone down, and do you know what we have started experiencing? Children coming back with anemia in the hospital because of that cessation of 1 month. we have seen an upsurge in the number of patients coming with anemia, which means that this drug is really protective. It really helps to preserve life, and it is something that the Minister of Health should continue to promote. I'm told, I've been informed that there is more hydroxyurea that has been procured by the ministry, and actually for Lira I've been asked to go and pick my share from the stores. Before I leave, I go back to my hospital. Honorable Minister, in 2021, in June, there was a re-emphasis on newborn screening. And since June 2021 at Lira Hospital, we have screened 6,553 children for sickle cell. And out of these, 95 tested positive. So we have identified, and I think this is an aggressive method to make sure that we detect the children with sickle cell early enough before they begin getting complications or before they die undetected. And this is a policy that has been introduced by your administration, Honorable Minister. I know we have challenges in the hospitals. We have big numbers of children, as I've already mentioned. But there is also the challenge, Honorable Minister, of loss to follow-up. Some people get treated for a while, and then the parents, because they don't believe that this is something we have to continue treating, they do not return to the clinic. So this is something we need to emphasize. A lot of counseling needs to be done. I don't know what is in their thoughts that they decide not to come back, but I think we all have to work together to sensitize the people more that once you have sickle cell, then the treatment is for life. But the parents also need to be encouraged to see how to accept their children who have got sickle cell disease. And when we have stockouts, like I've said, it also affects, of course, our blood supply. And blood is a very precious commodity. Many people need it, but among those are sickle cell children. They run out of blood, and therefore they need to strengthen our blood services. Honorable Minister, we are thankful for the various blood banks that have been set up over this period in the country to help to alleviate this problem. And of course, the admissions also give us the challenge of limited space. When the children fall sick, then we struggle with limited space to have them admitted. But one thing I want to say is that as health workers in the hospitals, we are committed and we shall remain committed to treating and looking after the children and the parents with sickle cell, and we will continue to encourage the people who are not married to take the tests before they get married, as much as possible, to avoid having children with sickle cell, because it is avoidable. You can screen with your partner and know whether you have high chances of getting sickle cell. Otherwise, I thank you for being given this opportunity to air out what we are doing. And I bring my greetings, and I will take back your greetings to Lira Regional Referral Hospital. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Doctor. Let's give him another round of applause. Thank you for, he has spoken on behalf of Lila, but also on behalf of all regional referral hospitals. And key out of his communication, early detection. And one of that is, for those who are not yet married, I see many of you, but I will not speak your names. Please go for testing. See whether you're a carrier, so as you protect your unborn child. Right now, Honorable Minister, allow me welcome Our Lady, Luwelo, to give us a song, an informative song that will give us more information about this disease we are talking about today. As they come, I once again welcome you to this function as we commemorate this day as Uganda. And the theme as there it is home and hospital care for sickle cell disease. And this re-echoes what Dr. Nathan has said. Some parents, when you go back home, how do you keep your child on treatment? So it is a home and hospital care for those who are already sick, but something that we can prevent. So on stage we are receiving Our Lady. Someone might wonder why we have boys in Our Lady, but it is the name of a school. Don't be worried. It is Our Lady School, primary school. It is from Ruelo. They have come all the way from Ruelo to come and be part of this function. I don't know whether you might need the microphone.
Those who have come up to sensitize on this sickle cell pandemic. We thank our director, Madam Nambakile Catherine, the Buganda government, NGOs and other stakeholders. We call on parents of the victims to show them love, feed them well with a lot of drinks, and follow the doctor's instructions. A brighter future still awaits. Our call to all Ugandans, go for testing. I know your status before you get married. funds for medication. Cause we have the hope now since we can get the drugs. Oh, sickle cell, you're the monster. You made the lives a misery. Oh, sickle cell. Oh, sickle cell. You're the monster. You made the children hate the world. Sickle cell. Oh, sickle cell. You're the monster. You made the lives a misery. Oh, sickle cell. Oh, sickle cell. You're the monster. You made the children hate the world. Sickle cell.
Thank you very much, Our Lady Parents Primary School, for the message. Keywords from their song is sickle cell, you're a monster. You've made children hate the world, and you've made these children live in misery. It is really sad, but we join hands together today to defeat this, and I'm sure with the able hands of our Honorable Minister and the Ministry of Health technical team here, and the parents, the children involved, all stakeholders, the media, I'm really certain that we are going to defeat this disease. Honorable Minister, at this time, allow me invite a parent who has gone through this experience of taking care of a sickle cell patient, Mr. Owoli Richard. Minister, we've always been encouraging mere involvement, and I think this is where you get a perspective of a father telling us a story of how he has managed to take care of a sickle cell patient. Most of the time, men tend to lie back, and some men, by the way, we've heard of stories of men running away from homes when they find out that their children have sickle cell. But this is one of the brave men we have, and let us hear his story. Thank you.
Yeah, the Minister of Health, the commissioners, members of staffs of Ministry of Health, all protocols observed. Parents, guardians who are here, plus our children who are suffering from sickle cell, you are all most welcome. Good morning. The Minister, I would like to appreciate your ministry for the service you are rendering to us about these young children of ours who are suffering from sickle cell. I personally, I sent my sincere thanks to the clinic of Mulago Hospital where my child gets treatment from. I thank the doctors there. It is not easy to be with a child who's having sickle cell. And we parents and guardians, we don't sleep. Today there will be fever, tomorrow headache, and their health changes according to the factor of the weather. More especially when it comes to cold weather, that's when they get pain, they get fever. So we are here on your hands, Minister of Health, Madam, because it is so hard. We get the service, but it is not inadequate, whereby as the numbers grow high, you may go to the clinic when you are supposed to get the hydrea for 3 months, you can be given for only 1 month. They say you can buy, whereby feeding this patient is needed, and the world of today you people see how it is. So our prayer that maybe you push up so that you help these children. They are dying. And they want to stay in this nation. And they are the future leaders of this nation. Other medicine, when they get such things, the stroke, the pain, others also, when you go there, it is not there. They prescribe and they tell you go to the clinics and buy them. So our prayer, the parents and the guardians, we are requesting the ministry to look deep into this sickness in this country. Not only in Mulago here, but in this country, because these children is wherever, every corner of this country, and more and still coming. Now to the side of the guardians and the parents, thank you very much for keeping these children. It is not easy. Please, may God help you give that heart. Don't go behind. Continue ahead as we cry to the ministry to help us. The NGOs, well-wishers, who are helping these people, please carry on. This is our nation, and these are the former, the upcoming leaders. Without them, the country will go down. Thank you very much. That's the only message I can give to the ministry and the garden.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing with us your experience. It would be fair if you also hear from my mother. Let me welcome Monica Nachibuka to come and share with us. She was here. Yeah, she's coming. If you were here last year, I remember her. Actually, last year she came with the patient. We saw how the patient was. I think today he couldn't manage. We see the weather is also not friendly these days. But Miss Monica, you can speak to us.
All protocols observed. I want to welcome those other individuals who are not parents or raising any child with sickle cell, but you choose to stand with us, know our challenges, and support us whenever we need support. I'm requesting the concerned parties, because I know they are here. I'm speaking as a mother of a 14-year-old sickle cell child who has been badly affected. He suffered stroke 3 times. He was school going, but he can't go to school anymore. He lost his speech. He does not move. He can't even roll in bed. So entirely, because of the stroke, we have so many other effects that came along with it. He has seizures, he has daily pains, we've had bed sores, we've had fractures, spasms. So our life is not so easy, not today, not tomorrow. We do not even know what is likely to happen the following day. I am requesting those in power, please. There was a tax that was put on diapers. My 14-year-old puts on adult diapers. Someone was saying diapers are a luxury. That 18% is torture to a parent like me. My child cannot do away with diapers. Yet he currently puts on adult diapers. I'm speaking on behalf of all parents with children who have suffered stroke, because they need them. These children cannot speak. I am requesting those in power, please talk about this percentage that was put on diapers. Okay, if you don't know any other person who needs the diapers, speak for Moses, my son. We need them, and at an affordable price. Then for the seasons when we cannot have hydroxyurea in our hospitals where it is free, hydroxyurea is very expensive in those pharmacies. I request that maybe the taxes are reduced on the drugs so we can get it more affordably. That is my request. I'm also begging fathers, the runaway fathers who have left the responsibility to their mothers. These children are our responsibility. We contributed equally to get them. I call upon all fathers around the world, please remember your responsibility and be supportive to the mothers. To the organizations, because I know there are organizations here who are willing to help those with sickle cell or parents raising children with sickle cell. I am requesting that you empower the parents to have skills that will let them be employed at their convenience. I was working somewhere before Moses got these last 2 strokes. I lost my job. Actually, my boss called to ask, how long do we have to wait for you because your child is sick? And that question came when my son was in the ICU. I lost that job and I've never been formally employed again. But along that way, I learned a baking skill, and I am the one that baked that cake and the cake for last year. So when we are in the hospital, of course we will not work. When we get well, we'll come back home and post everywhere, Instagram, Facebook, hey, we are back, can we take those orders? And this parent is able to buy diapers, buy drugs, and also hire a car that will take their child to hospital. So to all those running organizations that really need to give help to parents raising children with sickle cell, empower them with skills so that they can work for their children. We cannot handle this normal employment like I was in hospital through December and January. Got discharged, then got admitted in April. Is there any employer who will handle a person like me? Now you know. I am begging those organizations, please empower the parents so that we can be able to do something to sustain our children amidst our challenges. And to the adult warriors, this is a kind reminder, please take good care of yourselves. You know what to do. Keep warm, hydrate. You can live, you will graduate, you will get married, you will have kids, you can be whatever you want in life. Just remember that your life is very important. To the friends and families that have always stood by us, we are very grateful, we will forever be grateful. And to those of you who have relatives that have sick children, please, they need your support. Financially, morally, even visiting them in the hospital. At times we will stay in the hospital for like 3 months. The visitors are not even there. The visitors will not even be coming because they know you're always in the hospital. We need your support, friends and families. Thank you so much. To those of you who are single, your genotype is very important. Screen. I don't want to see you cry like I'm doing. I've cried for the past 14 years. I do not wish any other parent to get to where I am. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very touching. I have nothing to add on that because I might break down. Well, it is very eye-opening, and we take note of whatever you've made a pre on. And it is very informative, and thank you for the cake. Last year I tested it, now I'm eager to test it again. But this is a skill that I think we all need to take as parents treating patients with sickle cell. Right now, I've spoken to a few, not patients, but sicklers. They are here with us. 2 ladies, please come and talk to us. As they come, I'll request Clever's Origin to prepare a performance, and that will be a dance. They have a dance for us. But as they prepare, allow me to welcome, I didn't pick their names. You can help me call them. One of them tells me discovered she was a sickler at 6 months. They discovered, sorry. Then another one at 6 years. And they've been able to live through it. So this is hope that actually, and they are healthy. You can look at them, they are coming. So it is hope that is possible, and they can really survive with it.
Thank you so much. My name is Nanteza Dora. I'm now 29 years old. I've lived with sickle cell since childhood, but I used to get sick when I was still in village. You know, as village life, some people think, oh, what can I say then? Is it minor? Should I say? They think it's just a minor disease, like getting fever. They boil for you some herbs, Cele. You drink, then you get sick the next day. They think maybe someone is bewitching you, you know. But at the age of 6, my mama took me to Mulago Hospital. Then I was diagnosed with sickle cell disease at 6 years. But I thank God that even now, I'm still alive and happy.
Good afternoon to everyone here. We thank you for this chance of inviting us Sicklers. We thank you for hosting this day. We actually thought that it would not be hosted this year. Since the Sickle Cell Day had passed, it was on the 19th. So we all thought it will not happen, the ministry will not do it. But I got a call from my mom, Nakanja Ruth Sempa, the Minister of Association of Sickle Cells in Uganda. She told me that this celebration will be held today. I had school, but I had to leave it to come here. We thank you so much, Dr. Ruth Achen, for inviting us and celebrating this day for us. Dr. Ruth Achen, I would really want to address this issue to you. We are thankful that you have done you have helped us by providing hydroxyurea, folic acid, Fancida, and all the other painkillers and all the other necessities that are needed in the hospital for us sicklers. Dr. Ruth Achen, I am presenting our sickle cell group, because we have a sickle cell group that we are in, but we are both of us here, we are representing them. We are really asking you to take this into consideration and please build a hospital for us sicklers where there are not going to be any other illnesses. Because the sickle cell clinic that is at Mulago Referral Hospital is actually being shared by very many people. We have the clinic is sometimes congested. Sometimes the sicklers have to sleep down on floors. They don't have enough beds, enough bed sheets. We really need help there. We really need help. But the rest of the things we will not complain. We need blood. We need help. We need a lot of help, especially the hospital. I am saying this for my fellow sicklers out there because they are there watching me and they know that what I'm saying is right. They know the pain that we are going through. I'm sure you can also relate to the pain we go through. We really do need help. Please give us a hospital if you can. We are begging you. We are asking you in the name of God. Please. And we are also thankful. We are thankful for everything that you have done for us. We are not going to lay any regrets. No, we are not going to say that the ministry has left us. No, the ministry is always thinking about us. We are thankful. We are thankful. And I would also say this to the parents out there that have supported their children. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. As sicklers, people usually think that we usually die at tender ages. When I was young, I was diagnosed of sickle cell while I was 6 months. My grandma told my mother, this girl has something wrong. So you have to go for a checkup. Well, I was taken for a checkup. My mother was told that I had sickle cells. She cried her eyes out. She did not know where to start from and what to do. But my mom and my dad have raised me to the person I am today. I thank them so much. I also thank all the parents that are supporting their children that have sickle cell anemia. because there are very many parents that leave their children. Very many parents that leave their children with grandparents. Some leave them on streets. Some die, but they have supported their children. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for gathering the courage to be able to speak to us. You are welcome. Thank you for giving the patient's perspective and the hope. There is hope for all those that are being diagnosed with sickle cell that you can pull through. But if we can, let's prevent it, because it is not something to be happy about. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Minister, allow me invite Clever's Origin to give us a dance performance, and as they do that, I'll request Dr. Charles to prepare to give us an overview on the sickle cell disease from the sickle cell disease program, and we shall be really coming close to the end of today's function. Clever's Origin, please, over to you. Thank you very much. I clearly observed at first the lady was rejecting and finally she accepted. Thank you very much. They want to give us another round. Okay.
Bagenyi tabalamsa 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 alaba bagenyi tabalamsa alaba tabalamsa tabalamsa alaba bagenyi tabalamsa tabalamsa alaba bagenyi tabalamsa
Thank you very much. That was so nice. And to me, there are two presentations. One shows that they were sick. Now they've come with victory after succeeding and after defeating sickle cell. It's a sign of hope. And as a country, we shall not prepare to celebrate after defeating sickle cell. We need also to prepare on how we shall celebrate it after defeating it in the near future. Right now, allow me to welcome Dr. Charles to give us an overview of sickle cell disease in this country.
Yes, Honorable Minister, all senior ministry officials, the media, civil society, all invited guests, and our heroes, the warriors, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure for us to be here to commemorate the World Sickle Cell Day. And this day is put there to bring us to to remembrance that this is a disease we must take care of. There are people who are suffering. And for us to get the messages we have had here is a good insight into what Lee people go through every day. And to see the parents that are going through caring for these patients, to see the patients themselves, to see the clinicians who are working day and night to take care of these patients, is very energizing and it gives us the reason to reinvigorate our efforts and our energies. So this is a moment for us to take stock, a moment for us to look at what we have achieved and what we look forward to, and it's a moment to celebrate. So we celebrate you, warriors. You are real warriors. You are the reason. If you are clapping, please clap. These are warriors. They are bigger warriors than those that wield guns. These ones fight every day. They fight every day. But we encourage you to keep fighting. And we are telling you, we at the Ministry of Health do recognize what you go through every day. And we are leaving no stone unturned. We are doing everything within our means, everything within our power. We are appealing to everyone out there who is willing to listen, to pay attention to the fact that something needs to be done about sickle cell. We have done a lot of advocacy in the country, but we have also done advocacy out of the country. A lot is now beginning to churn. I can assure you that the future, for us who are able to peep into what the future looks like, there is light at the end of the tunnel. We encourage you to hang in. We encourage you not to lose hope. We thank you, the parents who are taking care of these children, of these warriors, and who have not given up. And I had the appeal from the mother of Moses, of the walkaway fathers. The fathers, please don't walk away, because this is a responsibility we share, you share together for this child. And we should take responsibility even in taking care of these children. We call upon the fathers, please don't turn away from the mothers and leave them struggling. When you hear the stories, many times you are moved with emotions. The other time when Moses was here, we couldn't afford. Almost the entire congregation was crying. But even when you could hear the mother and you could hear those songs, you could not afford to hold back the emotions. But let us not end at emotions. Let us go into action. Every one of us at our level, we can do something. Don't sit back and you say, this is the ministry to do it. It takes a village, it takes everyone for us to defeat the monster called sickle cell disease. Because this is not only a disease, it is a unique condition that it touches almost every sphere of life within society. But when it comes to our bodies, it touches every part of the body. There is no one part of the body which is not impacted if sickle cell is not managed properly. So, as we are doing what we are doing at the national level, and as the clinicians are doing whatever they are doing at the clinic, let the rest of us in school, in the communities, in churches, in whichever places where we are and we wield influence, let us use that influence to make a difference and to make a voice for the voiceless, for these people who did not make a choice, who did not choose, but they find themselves in a situation where they desperately need help. And whenever they come that they need help, may we never turn them back. May we never turn a deaf eye or a deaf ear whenever they cry out for help. Let us go out of our way to help them. So for me, I'm not going to make any overtones. I only want to thank you for whatever you're doing, and only tell you that we are not rested, and call everybody to action. Every one of us. Nobody should fold hands and say, this is none of my business. It is everyone's business. So please let us, the media, please partner with us, not only on an event like this, but every time you are always on the media. I was delighted yesterday when our public relations office organized the media up country, and we had a Zoom call, and they said, we want to be talking about sickle cell, but we don't know what to say. Can you please talk to us? And we had a session of over 1 hour, and I actually told them about what sickle cell is. They even recorded that Zoom discussion. May you share it amongst yourselves, all the media. Please, whenever you have a slot in there, I know you do a lot of cracks of jokes in your programs and everything. Between there, slot in a message for sickle cell. And the way for us to fight and be able to win sickle cell, the biggest weapon we have to use is messaging. Because there's a lot of misinformation out there and people do not know what to do. May we use our platforms and may we use every opportunity we have to pass the message and be able to join the fight. Thank you very much, all of us who have been able to make it here. Those of us who are watching us live, because this is being live broadcasted on UBC. Those of us who are on Zoom, we all of you together, we do celebrate our warriors. Please hang in there, keep fighting, have hope that the future is going to be better. And I will leave my Director General and the Minister to tell us more. But as on behalf of the team that I work with at the non-communicable diseases, to front and to push the agenda of sickle cell, we are delighted that you came. At short notice, you were able to set off everything, and because of the great importance you attach to this, and you're here. We want to thank you, and let us keep on our feet. Together we should be able to defeat this monster called sickle cell. Thank you very much. And then I want to thank the civil society. I want to thank the people who have come in to support us. There's this group, Wisdom Africa, who have brought in a new flavor into the fight. And we are going to have, they have a film which we are not going to be able to watch because we did not have a screen, but they have a song. They want to promote sickle cell using sports. And they are going to do, we have a champion actually. We have an intercontinental kickboxing champion. And he has joined the fight to push for the agenda of sickle cell. And they are going to show us what they are going to do to promote sickle cell and take the message using sports. Thank you, everybody. Let everybody join the fight.
Thank you very much, Dr. Charles, and thank you for spearheading the preparations for this event. And thank you for your remarks. Right now, we are left with only 2 speeches, but before them, allow us to welcome Wisdom Child Africa to come forward and give us a kickboxing presentation. They want to kick away sickle cell. And I was discussing with Charles on whether we can receive their song. He told me it is short, so they can combine the 2, and we receive our Director General Health Services. Wisdom Child Africa, let's be fast. We are time bound. Oh, I thought they were children. Okay.
It is very important to first blow on the mic and know that it is working. Yeah, this is working. Beautiful people, it is our wish that above all things you have good health, prosper, and enjoy this Uganda of ours. My name is Wisdom. I am the founder of Blood Project. It is a sickle cell prevention and management initiative. We use film, music, dance, and sports to create awareness about sickle cell anemia. Because of time, I request that I do just a quarter of a song, and then I introduce the champions, and we enjoy some bit of action. How do you see that? All right, let's go. Ocarina, nange Karina, Bernardo Karina, Momusai. Wagara nyo, my baby, wagara nyo, mutima usuna uona ye. Wagara nyo, my baby, ondikubongo, mutima usuna uona ye. Wagara nyo, my baby, wagara nyo, mutima usuna uona ye. Wagara nyo, my baby, ondikubongo, mutima usuna uona ye. Endolika wowo kaloza, atolika mulika magwa. Wenalinda mu future yange, my future. Wenalinda abana bange, ngawe mama wabe. Wenalinda mu future yange, my future. Wagara nyo, my baby, wagara nyo, mutima usuna uona ye. Wagara nyo, my baby, ondikubongo, mutima usuna uona ye. Wagara nyo, my baby, wagara nyo, mutima usuna uona ye. Sickle cell. All right. Unfortunately, it has been cut at a point whereby the message was coming. Yeah, that's what we call hooking in art. You start with a love song, and then you introduce the challenge. But the song has been playing anyway. So it's time for action right now. The lion is in the house. The man himself, Alex Masiko, the Lionheart, the world intercontinental kickboxing champion, at the same time, the champion of the fight against sickle cell anemia in Uganda. Alex Masiko. Show us. Yeah. Matt. Get on the mat. Get on the mat. Hey, all right. The man himself, Alex Masiko, is right here. But he's not working alone. In the house, we have another world kickboxing champion, the one and only Omar Semata. This man has gone to Thailand and he has beaten the people in Thailand. He has gone to China and defeated the Chinese. He went to America and beat them. He's the man who beat recently the man himself who takes a lot of porridge. You know that man. Umar Samata! Yeah! Hit it! Yo! Yes! I'm telling you, the giants are in the house. The giants are in the house. All right. Samata on the mat. On the mat. Wonderful. Kick that sickle cell anemia. Kick it. Punch. Good. Champion. Why is Samata on the same mat with you? Eh? Hey! Oh, it's not your time. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me introduce to you, the giants in kickboxing. This is the cream of kickboxers in Uganda. These gentlemen you see here, the ladies you see, all of them are champions. All of them are champions of kickboxing, mixed martial arts. But because of time, they are not going to, get in the ring and fight just because of time. But I'm telling you, all kickboxers have joined the movement of creating awareness about prevention and management of sickle cell anemia in Uganda. In just a moment, I'll tell you why. In just a moment, I'll tell you why. But right about now, I want to give them rules so that they can start on the real thing. Do you want to see some blood? Are you, the minister says no. But you see, minister, just for once, just, little. Anyway, all right. Are you attentive? Wonderful. Attentive? Okay, these are the rules. Rule number 1, you are going to punch him. And you are to punch him. As if you are punching sickle cell anemia. Understood? Now, rule number 2. Rule number 2. You are going to kick him. Even if you break your leg, no problem. As if you're kicking sickle cell anemia, okay? You will kick him as if you're kicking sickle cell anemia. I don't care, even if you lose your limb, the doctors are here. Have we had it? These are serious rules, international rules. Are we ready? Now, this is the 3rd rule. Very important. Very important. You should throw him down as if you're throwing down sickle cell anemia. No jokes. Understood? You should also throw him down as if you're doing what? Throwing down sickle cell anemia. And now the final rule. You get your position there. I'm giving you the final. There. All right. This is the final rule. The final rule is, everyone should listen to this rule. It is very important. The final rule is, there are no rules. I actually don't understand or even make sense in what I am saying, but I hope you do. Not so. I hope you do. All right. Okay. Semata in your corner. Champion in your corner. Do you have fans for Semata? Lionheart. Fight. Yeah. Hey, get him. Wonderful. Yeah. Hey. No jokes. Hey. Show us what you have. Hey. You people, Kubamuno, we don't want jokes, Hey. Yeah. The bad issue. Yo. Get back on the mat. Move keki yafe. Hey. Champion. Hey. Ready? Yeah, all right. Get back on the mat. I've not yet seen blood. You people, I will really, Ready? All right. Hey, some energy. Everybody keep on one of you coming. Keki. Okay. Forgive him. Discipline. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our kickboxers. I have a question for you. No. Wait, where's the matter? Somewhere here. You don't have to be close to each other. You might kill each other right now before we finish this thing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do we have your attention? Do we really have your attention? Do you agree that sporting activities attract people's attention? Then it is high time we took advantage of the attention we get due to sporting activities and we pass on the message about prevention and management of sickle cell anemia. Do we agree that should be done? All right. So these gentlemen and women and ladies are going to be doing that job. We are working on a film about prevention and management of sickle cell anemia. They are going to be holding blood fights against sickle cell anemia. We are also doing music. The ghetto kids are part of us, but today they are at school. They wouldn't make it. So we are going to do what we can in our own capacity as sportsmen, as artists, to ensure that the numbers of children who die due to sickle cell anemia reduce, and the numbers of children born with sickle cell anemia gradually go down. Okay? All right. Honorable Minister, the sportsmen right here did not come with only punches and gloves. They came with, somebody hold for me this. They came with a simple gift for you. It is, Madam Minister is so overwhelmed and very excited.
I think our minister needs to come with gloves for self-defense in case there is a turnaround.
For our Honorable
She has come with DG. I think DG will be able to do some kicks.
Attention! All right. So our dear Honorable Minister, in here is a simple gift.
The rest of us can really appreciate this with a hand clap. Let's appreciate the sign of...
Yeah, it's the blood race and fights against sickle cell anemia. And Honorable Minister, by that token, we are pledging to you that with your support and wise counsel, we shall fight a good fight against sickle cell anemia, and we shall finish our race against sickle cell anemia. And we are happy. And finally, we request that you bless us so that this journey we have started bears fruits for the benefits of all Ugandans. Thank you very, very much. And he has whispered to me, and they humbly request that just a courtesy photo. You know, it is an honor to finally, yes. You people, it's our moment. Eh? Be happy for us. All right. Thank you very much. Just one more. I need to be somewhere here, I think. Eh? Hey, it is okay. Thank you very much. And so this marks the beginning of our exhibition. Very soon we shall be going to schools, different communities, military, police, prisons, barracks. You will be seeing us all over, and we shall make this happen for the benefit of our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We appreciate you too. Thank you for the good gesture. And one thing I have observed is that there was no winner. So in the fight of sickle cell, we are all winners, and we shall defeat sickle cell together. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, allow me, we are in last, we are finalizing our event, but allow me welcome the Director General Health Services, Dr. Henry Mwebesa, to speak to us on the theme of this year, and he will also welcome the guest of honor, who is none other than the Minister of Health.
Thank you very much, Jacob. Honorable Minister, all our colleagues from Ministry of Health, from Mulago, from Lira, and all the other surrounding institutions. All our invited guests, our special angels, the young children from schools, our guests our clients, the Sicklers, the press, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. First of all, before I forget, I really want to thank the schools for the very good music, very good skit that had a lot of message for this very important occasion. Thank you very much. I think they deserve a very big clap. Can I request our colleagues clap for these schools who have given us a lot of message through songs. I also want to thank the press for being here to cover this function, but also to clarify that if you see, we have not invited very many people. We have not invited crowds to receive this message, because even if you invited a lot of people, how many will you invite that would cover the whole country? So now we are relying on you. We are relying on you that you'll pass this message. Please get it very clear. And you pass it to the whole country. What you have heard from the songs, what you have heard from the technical presentations, and what is being given in speeches. Please pass it all, the whole country. And I want to thank in a special way UBC. I'm told this function is being covered live. Is that correct? So I want to believe that people are following and are getting the message very clear. So thank you very much. Our theme for today is home and hospital-based care for sickle cell disease. You've heard our colleagues have mentioned a lot, have talked a lot about the hospital-based care. On my part, I want to emphasize the role of the home-based care. Because usually by the time you come to the hospital, they come with pain, they come with complications, they come with a number of challenges. But in the hospital there, the sicklers are given advice and given medicine to go and help them to keep out of crises. So this is the area I really want to emphasize, and the message that I want you, the press, to take to our people, to everybody, to reach the communities. You've already heard we receive about 20,000 new cases, 25,000 new cases, but usually by 5 years, if not well managed, we have lost about 80%. So this condition is a condition that we must, as much as possible, try to manage in the best way. And that management cannot be in hospital alone. It has also to be at home, and it has to be in schools, and also by prevention. But we also want to emphasize, and I want to thank Jacob, has really been emphasizing this. When we are in this function, or when we are sending out the messages, we should send out messages of hope, messages of encouragement, that our children who are sicklers, with good care, with treatment, can live some reasonable normal life, with fewer crises, with fewer pain. So let's give encouragement to especially the mothers and the parents and the children that it is not that hopeless. Especially now that we have got treatment, the hydroxyurea, which you have heard being talked about, and I think the minister will talk a little more about it, and how much more we are going to get, and how we are going to increase supplies to our hospitals. So with treatment and with good control, our children, and even now adults, my daughters here who were here, I think you could see they are now over about 20 years, you can live a little better life. Let me quickly highlight that home-based care package includes routine medicines that we give to the mothers to give our children when they are at home. And these include folic acid. We give them folic acid because, you know, their anemia keeps falling very fast. So we give them folic acid to help them build their blood cells and protect them against anemia. So we encourage mothers to keep taking that folic acid. We also give them anti-malarials, because when they get malaria, it even destroys the little blood that they have, and also puts them in crisis, and they get more sick and a lot of pain. So we keep them also on painkiller, on anti-malarials. So we encourage the mothers who have these children to keep giving their children the routine anti-malarials. We also give them some antibiotics, because if they get infections, they also, if they develop some bacterial infections, they also develop quicker, they progress faster into crises and they get pain. So we encourage them that the medicines they get from hospitals to prevent malaria, to prevent bacterial infections, and to build their red blood cells should be taken regularly. We are also encouraging the mothers and the parents to give them some good nutrition. Like you have already heard, the body destroys this sickle cell. They are blood cells get destroyed very quickly. So they need good nutrition in order to keep building good blood cells, to keep building immunity, and to live a more normal life. In that case, we encourage them to give good carbohydrates, give them proteins, fruits, and some minerals. But also very important, and very many mothers who have sicklers know this, they need to keep giving them a lot of fluids to rehydrate them, to make sure that they have enough to drink. This can be from juice, this can be water, it can be tea. This helps the blood to move, because the moment they get dehydrated, then the sickling process fastens and the painful crises come more frequently. I will not go into the technical discussion of that, but the point is they need to be very well rehydrated all the time so as to avoid crises. Now, one of the parents here talked about this, is the issue of the cold. If you keep these children in a very cold environment without giving them very good dressing, jackets, and the like, the moment they get into cold environment, they also develop pains or crises very fast. So we try to avoid extreme cold, or if they're in a cold environment or they're visited in places which are cold, like Chigezi, Fort Portal, and the area, make sure that they are always covered in very good and thick jackets. But also more important, we need to manage the pain because that is really, it can be very painful. So we also need to keep around some painkillers. What I'm trying to emphasize is that most of these things can be done at home. And even our health workers who run these clinics need to teach our mothers, to teach the parents to manage these cases at home, to make sure that we prevent the children going into crises. But in case the pains come, in case they develop the crisis, then it's very important to rush these children to the hospitals for proper care, proper assessment, and proper treatment. At this juncture, I want to thank all my health workers who have been managing our sickle cell clinics in Mulago. Thank you very much. Actually, if you go to the Mulago Sickle Cell Clinic, it is an area of hope. Very many children there are treated very well, they are supported very well, and it is very reassuring. And I would encourage the press, they will, one of these days, take them to our clinic in Mulago to have a look. Like one of the cases here was requesting for a hospital. Maybe the question was the minister. The minister will respond to that. But really what we need, because we have already been told this problem is almost everywhere in this country. It's distributed almost in all regions of this country. So you are not going to build a hospital in Fort Portal, a hospital in Ugulu, a hospital in Lira, hospital in Moroto. What is important, and I'm glad that Nathan talked about it, the hospital director of Lira, we need to start running sickle cell clinics in all our regional referral hospitals. And there, if you find cases that require admission, then you can designate a ward, but usually, if they are well controlled, many of them will not require admission. And those who are admitted have been advised that they are usually discharged within about 3 days of management of controlling the crisis. So really what they need is not a hospital, but a designated ward. But more importantly, for regional referral hospitals, we need designated clinics. Like you have a diabetic clinic on one day, hypertensive clinic, then we could also have our sickle cell clinics to help manage our children. So in conclusion, I want to thank you all for coming, but also to emphasize the role of the media in today's function. Today's function, we are depending more on the media to disseminate this message to the whole country. We'll disseminate messages widely to everybody, Don't just produce one message, news bulletins. We would want to request that you keep repeating some of these messages in your radio stations, TV stations, and in the press. But also we want you to encourage people, the new couples who are going for marriage, to screen, because those facilities are available in our hospitals, in our, even as far as the general hospitals. They can screen. You heard Deo telling us that the prevalence of the trait is about 13%. 13% is very high. So you need to screen before a marriage so that if I know I'm a carrier or a sick or have a trait, then my wife should not have the trait. Because it's my wife to be is going to have the trait and I have the trait, chances are that we shall deliver a child with sickle cell. So you need to encourage screening. But also you need to give messages of hope. Let's not give messages of desperation as if the world has ended because somebody has become sick. So try to give them messages that encourage them and show that sicklers can lead a normal life and can be very productive to this country. They can grow up and be ministers. They can grow up, be doctors, be teachers, and be politicians. Finally, I want to thank you, all of you who have come, and to thank the sporting activities that have been displayed here, because I know that will also help to pass on the message. The kickboxing, thank you so much. We look forward to the film and the music that you have told us about, because we know that such skits, messages through films, messages through music, go much faster and are perceived better than even these speeches that we are making here. So thank you very much. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank again the organizers of this meeting, the commissioner, Charles, and the whole team. Thank you very much for organizing this function. We couldn't do it on Monday because Monday was a cabinet day and the minister couldn't be available. So that's why we shifted this commemoration to today and not Monday. I don't know, Minister, we normally call it commemoration. I don't know. I don't want the word celebration. I don't think we should call it celebration. We commemorate the Sickle Cell Day. So with those remarks, ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome the Honorable Minister, Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng Ochero, to address this meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, DG. I hope I can be heard. You'll allow me to observe protocol and recognize the Director General, his directors and commissioners, and the entire staff of Ministry of Health, specialists who manage sickle cell disease, the Director, Lira Regional Referral Hospital, our school, but this microphone is funny. Can I get a better one? The schools that have always Clippers Origin, Our Lady Luero, and of course, Wisdom Child Africa, the parents who are here, and all of you in your respective capacities. Good afternoon to you all. Thank you very much for coming to commemorate the World Sickle Cell Day. We don't take it for granted that you are here. And allow me to start by appreciating the schools for the very good messages that they have given us here. I actually started wondering whether we should not have waited a little longer, mobilized resources and gone out there, because the resources, the messages were very touching. Thank you, Clever. Thank you, Our Lady of Luero. And thank you, Wisdom Child Africa. Very beautiful messages. Allow me in a special way to appreciate Wisdom Child Africa and the kickboxers. Of course, when they came, they scared me. They scared me. I thought they were going to kick themselves here. I was about to ask security to stop them when they said, do you want to see some blood? No, in Ministry of Health, we don't want to see blood. But we appreciate you for joining the fight against sickle cell disease. The message was loud and clear. You are here to support and to pass on the message. So we do appreciate you in a special way, and thank you for my jacket. I was hoping it would rain today and I put it on because it's a little hot. Now, as all of you are aware, in 2008, the World Health Organization declared June the 19th as the World Sickle Cell Day. And this was done with the aim of increasing awareness and also advocating for sickle cell disease, both locally and internationally. And the Ministry of Health has been commemorating this day. So I want to allay anxiety. Even when we don't have resources, we shall have press releases, press statements. We shall address the press and remind the country about sickle cell disease. A few years ago, between 2013 and 2014, we conducted a sickle cell survey nationally that gave us information about the prevalence of the trait and of the disease. And you have been hearing this from various speakers. But we want to take note that sickle cell disease is not uniformly distributed in the entire country. There are some regions that are more affected than others. And this is specifically the regions of Acholi, Lango, Teso. Bukedia is in Teso. Then we have a few areas in Bukedi, where we have Busia and others. But we also have some special areas in the western part of Uganda, where we also have a high prevalence. And of course, the central region. And these regions were found to be more burdened, with close to 20% of the trait, whereas the national average is at 13.3, and 1% of the disease, whereas the national average is at 0.73%. We are also aware that about 20,000 to 25,000 children, as mentioned by the Director General, are born annually with sickle cell disease in Uganda. You can quickly do that calculation. If 1.5 million babies are born annually, and between 20 to 25%, 20 to 25,000 are born with sickle cell disease, then you can estimate, based on your age, how many have been born since you were born. How many have been born since then? It will give you a picture of how many we have in the country. But it is time to change this picture and ensure that we reduce the number of children born with sickle cell anemia. And since then, the ministry has been undertaking the following interventions. We have mainstream sickle cell programming within the health sector, the entire health sector. And when I talk about the health sector, I'm not only talking about Ministry of Health. I'm talking about Ministry of Health, the affiliated institutions, and all the hospitals. We have also set up newborn screening services in many of our regional referral hospitals and general hospitals. We have been carrying out advocacy, sensitization, and giving care to many of our patients. I call them patients because when they come, they are patients, but when they are not suffering, they are clients. So I will highlight a few of those areas on what we have been doing. You heard from the DG, we want to give hope. We want to give hope to everybody in the country that something is being done, and we want to put an end to the needless dying that was occurring many years ago when we only had one clinic in Mulago. And by the way, the clinic in Mulago has been there for a long time. Even when I was training as a medical doctor, that clinic existed. I was told it started in which year, Dr. Dale? 1968. So it is as old as I am. So if you want to know how old I am, you can calculate backwards. So let me talk about mainstreaming sickle cell programming. Since the year 2013-2014, we have had a national coordinator who is responsible for the sickle cell program in the Ministry of Health under the Directorate of Non-Communicable Diseases. And you heard from from the commissioner, who is the head of department, Dr. Charles Oyo, is the head of Department of Non-Communicable Diseases. You can stand up and people see you. Non-communicable diseases is not only diabetes, hypertension, cancers. It also includes sickle cell disease and many other genetic diseases. So that is the commissioner who is responsible. We have also developed a national sickle cell policy. We have clinical guidelines to support our health workers as they manage our patients. And we have a very good strategic plan that gives an overview on what we plan to do every year to better the care for clients with sickle cell anemia. Number two, I talked about advocacy. And advocacy is not only amongst us here. When we are here, we are also advocating. But we also look for resources through advocacy. We also bring on board the civil society and the private sector to support us in advocacy, as well as members of parliament, whom we have sensitized on the prevalence of both the trait and the disease. And we have also sensitized them on what happens to our clients who suffer from sickle cell anemia. We have managed to reach out to cultural leaders countrywide, as well as religious leaders, and sensitize them. And we are happy that they have joined us in this struggle to ensure that our clients live quality lives, but we also reduce on the burden of sickle cell disease. So my message today to the entire population of Uganda is that we must all rise up and spread the information that sickle cell disease is preventable, and the prevention begins with you and me, testing our blood and knowing our status, but also making an informed decision when we are choosing our partners. And when I talk about an informed decision, I am not saying if your partner is positive for the trait and you are positive, I'm not saying break up the relationship. I'm saying take an informed decision, knowing what you will face in future. So you go into that marriage knowing the consequences. But also reaching out for people to support. You heard the message from the Clever's children saying we should not leave our children to suffer, or the adults. By the way, we usually talk about children, but they are also adults. There are even those over 60 years of age. There are even those who are 70 who have lived with the sickle cell disease. They still need support because they still face all the crises that others go through. In regards to sensitization, allow me to appreciate the DG for emphasizing to the media that we are partners in this. We cannot stand with our microphones here and shout to the entire country. You are the people to spread the information to the entire country. You need to spread the information that we have centers of excellence that provide care in many of our regions. I don't recall whether the centers of excellence were all mentioned, but you know about Mulago. We have centers of excellence in Lira Regional Referral, in Jinja Regional Referral, in Masaka, in Mbale, in Soroti, and Gulu. And those are the regions with the highest burden. But it doesn't mean that in other regions, they are no sicklers. They are there. They are there. And we want to continue opening satellite clinics where we can give services to these people. We also need you to spread the message that currently we are providing hydroxyurea. We don't have enough quantities as yet, but we are moving in that direction. A few years ago, it was not even there. Neither had research been done. And all our sicklers were only receiving supportive care. So it is not many years that hydroxyurea has been introduced to improve the quality of care. And I am really, really impressed that in Mulago, we have over 19,000 registered clients. I don't know how many are on hydroxyurea. All of them. 50% of 19,000, you can divide, maybe about 8,000 are on hydroxyurea. If Lira Regional Referral has already 431 on hydroxyurea, it means we are making progress. The truth is that this medicine is given for life. It improves on the quality of life. It enables you not to get crises. It makes you live like any other child would live. And I can give you an example of people with HIV. When they are on treatment, they live quality lives. And nobody can know that they have HIV. Similarly, sicklers can do the same when they are on hydroxyurea. But it must be taken every day, consistently, and following the doctor's advice. There are people who just go and buy them off the counter, and they forget that this medicine is actually given according to the weight So every time you increase weight, the dose is also increased. And you need to be monitored. We need to monitor many parameters in your body. So only take it with prescription of a medical personnel or a specialist in that area. That is when you will see the benefits. And it is also advisable that it is started early in life. That is why we are screening newborns. Because when you are started at an early stage, that is when you will benefit most. If you're already grown up and you already have features of sickle cell anemia, we may not be able to reverse the features. It may not give you as good results as it would if you started early. And so I want to encourage us, especially the media, to talk about newborn screening. It is extremely important. And we encourage parents to access the services where they are being given. I want in a special way to appreciate His Royal Highness, the Kabaka of Buganda, and the entire kingdom. Between 2017 to 2019, His Royal Highness offered 3 consecutive years of his birthday and the run to mobilize resources for sickle cell anemia. At the same time, the kingdom took it upon itself to spread information, to address the myths and misconceptions that people had. Remember, the central region, in other words, the Buganda sub-region, is an area of very high prevalence as well. And since then, the myths and misconceptions have reduced because people are well informed about sickle cell anemia and what it does to the body. So I want to encourage the other cultural institutions to emulate the example of the Buganda kingdom and do the same. And we are willing to support the kingdoms to spread the information. I mentioned a little about newborn screening, and allow me to say here that it is being done in all our regional referral hospitals, even those in the areas where we don't have a very high burden. They are carrying out newborn screening. And in a special way, allow me to appreciate Cincinnati Children's Hospital in the US that has been supporting us in this program. I would also like to appreciate the American Society of Hematology through the Consortium of Newborn Screening in Africa that have also been supporting the program, especially in 2 regions of Lira and Jinja. This has been a 5-year project, and the project is meant to demonstrate the impact of newborn screening and early intervention on survival of children with sickle cell disease. Remember earlier on I said the earlier we start the intervention with hydroxyurea and other care, the better. Please help that little child. The child may be hungry. We have been here for quite a bit. The other area I want to talk about is capacity building for clinical care. Because clinical care is another intervention that we are undertaking. And when we talk about clinical care, we mean quality care for the people with sickle cell anemia. So we have been training health workers, and we have set up centers of excellence as well as satellite clinics in those areas that I mentioned earlier on. We are also planning to set up model clinics in private not-for-profit facilities to support the current centers of excellence so that services are brought nearer to the people. You make a choice where you will want to go. A little bit about hydroxyurea. The government of Uganda, through the national medical stores, is currently procuring hydroxyurea for public health facilities, although the quantities are small. This is good progress. The entire health workforce and the Ministry of Health will tell you this is a great milestone that had never happened before, and we need to appreciate government for this. The secret is once they have started, they will never stop. They will only continue to increase on the quantities because government will definitely, in an incremental manner, add on the resources. We are also in partnership with Novartis, one of the leading manufacturers of hydroxyurea, and them for reducing the costs of the drugs, but also in a special way for manufacturing the pediatric formulation. And when I talk about pediatric formulation, I mean those tablets that can be taken by very, very young children, the ones we call infants. Because previously, we only had capsules that could be taken by older children. But now we have pediatric formulations or baby formulations that can be taken by the babies. And that is a great milestone in our response for cell anemia. So we want to appreciate them for that. The costs of the medicine has reduced by almost 60%. And I say this because we have been buying, and we used to buy each capsule at 1,500. And imagine if your child takes 3 capsules per day. That means you spend about 4,500 shillings per day. It is not affordable. But reduction by 60% is a great milestone. And we even look forward to more reductions in the costs as we continue with the manufacturing. I also want to appreciate Novartis for making a very generous donation of hydroxyurea to Uganda. This has also supported our clinical effort for the patients with sickle cell anemia. I am sure that many clients all over the country have had opportunity to receive these medicines. I am also appealing to other pharmaceutical companies and groups to emulate the example of Novartis and begin to reduce the costs for the medicines, but also think about donating as we build up the program. Now recently, on the sidelines of the World Health Assembly, we were extremely happy when the global community joined us to recognize sickle cell disease and formed a coalition to fight the disease. And when I talk about the World Health Assembly, that is an assembly where we all gather. All the nations in the world gather. 194 countries gather. But on the sidelines, the countries, especially in Africa, that are hard hit by sickle cell disease came together, including the countries that are not hard hit but have the money. Coalition. and the coalition was launched, Uganda was privileged to co-host, meaning we were part of the organizers, the event with the other global stakeholders. So given the way we have mainstream sickle cell programming at the national level, Uganda was selected as a flagship country with a good example of best practice and was recommended for funding. So it was also one way of advocacy and lobbying for funding to support our sickle cell program. The lessons that will be learned from Uganda, and when I say that, it means all the other countries with sickle cell disease burden are looking towards Uganda to set a good example of what can be done to reduce the burden. So the lessons learned will be used to roll out interventions for sickle cell disease everywhere, and at the same time to support other countries and to support the global stakeholders in decision making. So on that note, allow me to appreciate the National Disease Department and the focal person for a great job done. At least Uganda is known globally for what we are doing in our response to sickle cell disease. So that gives me another voice to add on to the DG that we should stop lamentations and rise up to the challenge. Rise up to the challenge, just like Wisdom Child has done to create advocacy, just like the children are doing to create advocacy. All of us must rise up to the challenge and talk about sickle cell disease and what can be done to reduce the burden. We are all looking forward to the day when we have adequate resources, just like HIV/AIDS does, and we have multiple partners to support, and we have reduced the prevalence, and we are talking about a country that has children that are living to their full potential and achieving their dreams in life. So I want to encourage you. You can still live and be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, a teacher, a pilot, whatever you choose to be. You can still do it. So hope is with us. For those that have already suffered beyond what we can help, we still continue to support them to live quality lives. And I want to hold hands with the mother who spoke here earlier on, whose child had stroke 3 times. The stroke could have been prevented, Dr. Dale. That stroke could have been prevented. But perhaps we were not able to give quality care then. It is unfortunate. But we continue to hold hands with you and walk that journey with you. My last appeal is to the parents. Please, when you have a child or children with sickle cell anemia and they get a crisis, do not wait at home saying they have been getting this crisis, they will get better. Go to hospital and get advice on what you can do to prevent it from progressing. And we have many different types of crises that our parents in the villages may not know and may not understand. that needs medical care. Lastly, allow me to appreciate all of you for coming. As I answer my daughter, the daughter of Ruth, who asked for a hospital, the DG answered you. But what the DG did not say is what I am going to say. That sickle cell disease cannot be managed in isolation. When I say in isolation, I mean in its hospital alone. Because if you get a stroke, that is also due to a crisis, you need neurologists. When you get a sequestration in your spleen, that is blood gathering in the spleen. I don't know the spleen in Luganda. A what?
Swahili.
A katago. When blood starts collecting there, you need the blood services and you need other specialists, hematologists, to care for you. When you get a painful crisis, you need people. When you get a clot, you also need our Heart Institute and many others. That is why we choose what we call a multisectoral approach. What we need, perhaps, is a ward. And I want to appreciate Mulago. Mulago already has a special ward where sicklers are admitted. And then all the other specialists are called upon to check on them so that it is a... So I want to appeal to the other regional referrals as we continue to expand. Also think about having special wards where we can keep them and other specialists also give them attention. I want to thank all of you for coming. Thank you for your commitment in this fight, in our response to sickle cell disease. I choose not to call them warriors. I don't like the language. I know that they struggle to survive, but it is a fight in which we are all in. So I'm not going to call them warriors. They are special people. Thank you. Thank you for coming, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Honorable. Maybe before you sit, we have a cake to cut. I'll invite parents of patients living with sickle cell, sicklers to come and accompany the minister to cut this cake. Please, the rest we can keep seated. I'm not calling for those who are going to eat, but for those who are going to cut and we enjoy it. Honorable Minister, maybe you can.